Hey, welcome back. Well, today I'm gonna take out this rack and pinion steering, and the manual says you have to remove the transmission rear mount, which happened to be right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can do this without removing that transmission mount. It does look like there's enough room in there to get by it. This outer tie rod bolt is on with 18 foot-pounds. They recommend replacing the nut with a new one when you do this job. Okay, if or when it starts to spin on you, need an 8mm socket for the end piece here, and this would be 18mm, but crescent works, wrench works pretty good either way. Now normally you'd hit this with a hammer and drive it up, but they also make a puller which goes underneath the rubber boot and presses it out, but this one's already loose, so I don't have to do that. That might be my noise right there. I'm going to take this control arm loose. I'll have just nothing but a straight shaft, and I'll see if it'll pull out that way from the other side. Okay, I put the joint back in the knuckle there. Anyway, crescent wrench, rubber mallet. Now, if you don't move the nut, you can just unscrew this from here. Okay, that one's off of there. All right, on this side, I'm going to go ahead and loosen this nut first. You can see the nut came off of this one fairly easy without using the 8mm on the end. Well, I dug out my old school ball joint removal tool, commonly referred to as a salad fork. Well, the last whack came loose. After removing the intermediate shaft here, that's in another video, it's time to take the bolt out on this side, which is a steering rack bolt on the side, and it is a 18mm. Okay, you can move this steering rack a little bit now and pull this bolt on out once it's loose, and there it is. Now I gotta go do the other side. Okay, I got it loose enough now. Probably get it by hand. Okay, there's the other one. Okay, I'm gonna try and pull this steering rack out from the driver's side here. Count the threads and then put this one on the same amount of threads that this one's on. Take it off, of course, and count the threads after taking this one off. And then over here, okay, I already have this one off. Count these threads, take this one off, and then put it on the same amount of threads as this. Of course, it's still going to need an alignment. And this is aligned here, but I need it like this one, so the steering wheel will be straight. So go pretty much like that. Okay, gonna put the new one back in now. Well, I spent more time trying to weasel the new steering rack past that opening right there, and I've decided to go ahead and take that transmission mount loose. Whether you're supposed to do it according to the shop manual, it'd save you more time, I think. Okay, before loosening the pass-through bolt on the transmission mount, make sure you support your transmission with a block of wood and a jack. Okay, I was able to put my Ryobi impact driver PC261 up in there and loosen that bolt right up. Anyway, I broke it loose with a 3/4 6-point socket. I recommend, if you got an 18 millimeter, to use it. Okay, this heat shield has to come off as well. And it just hooks over the back side, as you can see, with a little need to loosen. There's 3 bolts right there. Okay, these 3 bolts are 15 millimeter. They're on at 14 foot-pounds of torque. Oh, okay, that's number 3. Okay, time to put the new steering rack in. I left the transmission mount in. It's loose, so I can at least move it around. Okay, if you can position your transmission mount out of the way, you can slide the shaft all the way through and then turn it back up the way it's supposed to be towards the firewall for the mount. Okay, I got 1 bolt started. Now I'm going to get the other bolt started on the passenger side. Okay, the steering rack is not tightened down. I just put the intermediate shaft on right here, and I use the old bolt for an alignment. Alright, what I need to do now, put this transmission mount back where it goes and get the through bolt to go through that hole from the other side, of course. Tighten this through transmission bolt down loosely. That metal heat shield plate. Anyway, there's a tab on each one of these ends that need to go behind the casting on the mount there. With that bolt loose, need to go to front transmission mount, which is right there. Loosen that bolt up, and then you can go back to the rear bolt and put it down to torque. Okay, before I tighten the pass-through bolts on the transmission mounts down to torque, I want to get these this rear transmission mount bolts tightened down. They're 15 millimeter. Okay, these transmission mount frame bolts are 44 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, the transmission through bolt, 74 foot-pounds of torque. I'm using a very long 1/2-inch extension. The reason I used a 1/2-inch extension is because the 3/8 will twist too much. Okay, 74 foot-pounds coming up. Boy, I tell you, I never thought I'd get there. Okay, and that's how I got it. The wrench in there. It's laid up in there like that. Now for the other side. Okay, on this side I had a lot less room, so I took a bigger socket wrench and put it on very tight with it. Probably the easiest way would be to remove this plastic shield right here, and then your torque wrench would be able to travel further. I count the threads. This is the passenger side now with the screwdriver. You hear the clicks. Anyway, I got 18 of them, and I need to go do 18 on the new shaft. Okay, these tie rod ends require new nuts. They're on with 18 foot-pounds of torque and an 18 millimeter socket. It's 18 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees, so I'm at 18 foot-pounds right here. Now I need to go 90 degrees. And that's that on this side. Okay, 18 foot-pounds plus 90 degrees. There's 18. There's 90. Over here, these are called rod jam nuts, and they're tightened at 50 foot-pounds. 13/16 crow's foot fits that nut perfectly. So I'm going to put that down to 50 foot-pounds of torque. Okay, that's got it. Okay, that's done. Okay, the last thing I have to do is, for torque-wise, is 13 millimeter socket and 25 foot-pounds on this pinch bolt to the intermediate shaft. Okay, that's the torque. Steering rack is in. The big heavy clunking is gone. Until the next video, this is Steve AZ711 saying thanks for subscribing, thanks for watching, and bye for now.